I thought with TCG Pocket being so much easier to obtain than IRL cardboard at the moment, both in terms of the money and the war efforts, I'd do an episode of Draw with TCG Pocket instead. Essentially, we open a pack of Pokemon cards, and for each Pokemon we get, we spin a wheel and draw whatever form it gives us. From Paradox Pokémon to new Megas and Evos, all the way to being Digimon. I hope you enjoy what I make, and let's have a look at what we get. Alright, so let's see what we get. I'm just gonna randomly spin this. I'm not gonna pick one. I'm just gonna... this one. Alright. Oh, I see something special. We got the Rockruff. Ooh, Passimian. I've actually really enjoyed Passimian lately. Okay. Oh, we got the cute Skitty. And the Maractus. Nice, nice. Oh, and the Lycon Rock too. Alright, and not bad choices. I'm pretty happy with what we got there. Let's go to the wheel spin for Rockruff. Okay, so Rockruff spin time, and... we got a convergent form. I actually have the perfect idea in mind. So this was a video idea I had that didn't really come to fruition fully. The idea was Pokemon that look similar to their existing counterparts, let me finish here, but they're injected with Fossilmon DNA so their evolutions are full on prehistoric animals. Much like the very loose definition that these, in quotation marks, direwolf puppies have, or the woolly mice. So just imagine we got some kind of Rockruff embryo and then injected it with the DNA of some kind of fossil direwolfmon. This means we get fossils without the rock type too, and more convergent mons, so everyone wins. I tried to imagine it as still being Rockruff-like, but taking on a bit of more of a jagged look to it. I guess more feral would be the right word here. A Rockruff that never got domesticated and didn't have any of that rock type in them whatsoever. I guess also making them fluffier in the process? I don't see how that is bad at all, really. Direruff, the Dire Pup Pokemon, are pure Dark type. Direruff are experimental Pokemon creators a different approach to reviving fossils to avoid the various other particulates that cause type changes within the Pokemon. The embryo of Rockruff is used for this Pokemon and is injected with the DNA of a similar species from the past, now extinct, which causes them to grow into this new form. Direruff are extreme bullies that love nothing more than to bite down as hard as possible on any toy or hand that is unfortunate enough to get close to it. It takes a particularly strong-willed trainer to be able to handle a Direruff with care. It's a good lesson though, as their evolution is even wilder. Direruff have the ability Strong Jaw and Intimidate. Next to new fave is Passimian, and I'm keen to do anything the wheel gives me really. And ooh, I got past Paradox. Interesting.
Look what I made!
It's a stone, Luigi. You didn't make it.
It's a football!
Okay, so I gotta admit that clip of the Mario Super Show gave me the idea for this one. Passimian in its past Paradox form is actually a bit smarter than its present form. Instead of playing with the hardened berries, they'd use the shells to make almost football-like, or I guess gridiron-like armor for them to play their games in. And it's needed as now they chisel hard rocky footballs to play with instead, and most of all just absolutely yeeting it at unfortunate Pokemon who decide to get in their way. To make sure it's got a bit more Paradox energy, I based it more off upright hominid design, but also a bit gorilla-like too. I can imagine a whole team of them just full charging in formation like an unstoppable wall. I also decided to give it a spear on its back. Maybe a bit far there to show it using tools like that, but I wanted to show that this thing is smart enough to start making tools, and you'll see in the dex entry why it is how it is today as just normal Passimian. Tossing Team, the Paradox Pokemon, are fighting in Rock type. Sightings of Tossing Team have occurred as of late, and is thought to be the ancestor to Passimian due to their looks and nature. They're quite smart, forming large groups to bully out other Pokemon and to create tools together. They have a wonderful sense of community. Tossing Team uses large stones as weapons and for the games they play, and their hardened berry armor, despite being tough, is still not strong enough for the brute force they display. Scientists theorize that due to all that rough play it caused heavy brain damage and degradation, leading to the Passimians we have today. As always, tossing team's ability is photosynthesis. Skitty was next, and for this spin, we got a shiny Evo. Shiny Skitty isn't wildly different enough to allow me to make the quickest judgment. However, the color did remind me of a sort of orangey yarn, so I set out to make this sort of yarn cat, like multiple balls of yarn like fur connected together to make this sort of glamorous looking kitty cat. I've now done multiple cat Pokemon shiny evolutions, this one and before I did Glameow with its hideous Sphinx cat evolution. This one isn't nearly as horrifying, mainly looking like it's stuck with a few needles, but more so than that, I wanted to keep that kitty play toy tail that Skitty has, but now I've turned it into this sort of floppy fabric brush looking thing. I don't know its name. All I know is that it's my cat's favorite toys to play with, and being able to inject my love for them into a design makes it worth it. Yarn Marm, the Yarn Ball Pokemon, a normal and fairy type. Shiny Skitty evolves into Yarn Marm with a shiny stone while holding a destiny knot. Yarn Marm are some of the most affectionate Pokemon around. Their warm fur is inviting, and so they make friends with other Pokemon very quickly, and are found to be a great adoptive mothers to other cat Pokemon who crave such warmth. The various gems all over their body contain a mysterious power, and when they can control this power, it causes friend and foe alike to become infatuated with Yarn Marm. If this happens to a foe, Yarn Marm will quickly walk up to them and start clawing violently. Yarn Marm have the abilities Cute Charm and Tangling Hair. How's about Maractus now? And for our jolly green friends, we got an ultimate form. Now to quickly catch you up to speed, an ultimate form is something I covered in this video, and is kind of like what happens if a Pokemon adapts to really harsh environments, kind of becoming the apex of their species. Stolen straight from Ben 10, by the way. Thanks Ben 10, Ultimate Alien. Anyway, I thought for Maractus it'd be cool if it could increase its water collecting powers. Being out in the Unnovan Desert would be harsh, but what if it was kind of in a future where access to water was even more scarce? Or, you know, the whole region is just a whole sandstorm. Ultimate Maractus grows from their normal flowery head to large rubbery cactus parts, which can swell up to massive sizes with water, kind of like a water balloon of sorts. While it can use it as an attack, it also just sucks all that water up over time to keep itself going. It also has adapted to having the water type to help counteract some of that water loss, and the blazing heat and fire types I'm sure would call the desert home. And yes, those are other Maractus heads on there too. A colony of cacti will always be stronger than just one, right? And if it's just the heads, there's not as much need to waste as much water, so yay, water saving. As an Australian, I had to do this all the time back in the day. Ultimate Maractus, the cactus Pokemon, are grass and water type. An apex species of Maractus that has adapted to living in the desert for so long. They have large reservoirs of water, enough that they can go years without needing to refill them. Their strong bodies let them hold their own weight up and avoid sinking in the sand. Multiple Maractus now connect to one another and symbiotically partake in the water, while simultaneously sharing their brain power, making it easier to outsmart predators and make split-second decisions. They still like to dance and make rhythmic noises with their hands, accompanied by sloshing water backing noise. Ultimate Maractus have the abilities Storm Drain and Rain Dish. And finally, our werewolf boy Lycanroc Midnight, and for that we got, well then, a Digimon. Let's end this video off with a Digibang. Alright, so I'm sure you've already guessed what this Lycanroc will be based off, and yes, you are correct, it's Wergarurumon. I mean, it's so perfect. Lycanroc is the bad boy of the Rockruff family, and Wergarurumon is the bad boy of the Gabumon line. I guess that means it'd be Rockruffmon, Lycanrocmon, Lycanrocmon, then like Dusk Lycanrocmon. Oh, that's a lot of word salad, but pretty on par for Digimon. I like the proportions I did for this guy. Granted, it's just very similar to Wergarurumon, but I think it works on its own as sort of like a related species to the Gabumon line. Not exactly the same as Fakemon, but, you know, close. I wanted to simplify it a bit, lean more towards a cleaner, less aggressive design, and make it a bit more top-heavy in design. I look at those spiky D-pads and giant feet first with Wegroom I'm just always like drawn down. So no spikes except for the mohawk and some rocks on the hand, just to give it some punchy powers. And the jeans are much less detailed, but I did want to have a goofy little Dogmon symbol on the pants, which I guess would also work really well as a champion for this guy. And I guess in my previous turning Pokemon into Digimon video, I did Lionmon, which is sort of like the Garbamon replacement, so this would make a pretty good ultimate for him, but I've got another Were Pokemon that I'm going to use for that. I'm pretty pleased with how my Digimon style has come along though. What do you think? Were Lycanrockmon is a virus attribute ultimate level Digimon of the Nightmare Soldiers family. A Digimon that came about when Lycanrockmon's data was corrupted. Although it is scary, it still has a pure heart, and if it continues to do good deeds in this form, then it will digivolve into a pure Digimon. They are exceptionally fast and still have a prankster side to them. Their attacks are Stone Knuckle, where they punch forward sending a hail of stones out from their fist, and Wolf Buzzsaw, where they spin rapidly and charge their opponents, looking to cleave the enemy Digimon in two. And that's all I have for today. I think I'll continue to do these sort of mini Pocket TCG videos when new sets come out. Much easier to obtain cards for it than the other way around. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop it a like and a comment on who your fave was in the video. And with that, I'm off. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Crew, howl with me.